Now, I want to get back into what I reckon is a real worry for parents and their kids, of course, that is climate anxiety. We're told about rising levels of mental health issues and depression with younger people. And now a new report has found that lessons about climate change and global warming should be delayed at schools until high school due to the rise of climate anxiety in our children. Child psychologist Clare Rowe compiled the report for the Institute of Public Affairs, and she joins me now live on set. Good to talk to you again, Clare. You and I have talked about this broad issue a lot, and in your clinical work you see examples of climate anxiety. But what you've done here is looked at the school curriculum and found out how much alarmism, I suppose, is being foisted on our kids at school. Give us a sense of what you found.
Yeah, it is alarmism. This research is certainly the first of its kind in Australia, if not worldwide, because up until now, research has, I guess, assumed that the rising levels of anxiety in children is because they are exposed to more rising sea levels and bushfires and floods. Well, the 9-year-old who's seeing me in my Sydney clinic, they're not exposed directly to rising sea levels in their backyard. So,
I don't think anyone is so far, by the way.
But probably not. And so I kind of thought, well, no, there's something else going on. And literally, I've said to you before, I have had 7, 8, 9-year-olds in tears in my office because they do not think they're going to make it to adulthood. They think the older generations have failed them, the government's not listening, and no one cares about them. I mean, that's just, atrocious. So, yeah, we went and looked at the curriculum in detail. And the fact is, sustainability, aka climate, is what they call a cross-curriculum priority.
Wow.
It's got to be embedded in every single subject from 5 years old. So we have, Chris...
From 5 years old?
From
so even a 5-year-old doing maths or social studies or whatever, get some sort of climate message in there?
So in music, they're writing rap songs about climate. In English, they're writing poetry about climate change. It's mandated. So teachers have to teach it across the curriculum. And so, it is no wonder when we're spending billions of dollars on mental health that these kids, we're not actually educating them, we're just terrifying them.
God, it's just Orwellian that we're going to program people along these ways. Now, tell me, though, from what you've seen, is the way that climate change is inculcated into every subject from 5 years of age right through their schooling, is it measured, is it balanced, is it scientific, or is it emotive?
Well, I think it's quite emotive. Look, at the end of the day, and my report through the IPA, I'm not a climate change scientist, okay? So even if you subscribe to the fact that we're all doomed and climate change is man-made, my argument is we're not actually equipping the next generation to become the brilliant scientists who are going to come up with the adaptations, who are going to solve the problem, because they're just paralysed. So, yeah, they get messages on worksheets like there is no planet B and the Earth is sick.
No.
Right?
Yeah, and as you say, you don't want to challenge the science or whatever. That's another story. But what we need kids to do is grow up being well-adjusted and confident and maybe learning science and maths so that they can help solve problems in the future.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. And so what we need is just to return back to, when we were at school, it was like picking up your rubbish and care for the environment and saving water. That's all fine.
Planting trees.
But telling them planting trees.
What I like to call the carbon pollution reduction machine, the tree. I want to show you someone and tell me something about this. Can we have a look at Greta Thunberg?
I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Well, that makes me laugh and wince because that looks like a kid with climate anxiety. She's now on her way to Gaza. She's going to solve that, apparently. But I'm just wondering whether Greta Thunberg turns up in the curriculum in any way and whether she's portrayed as some sort of saint or some sort of font of wisdom.
Look, not specifically her, but as they go on in later years, absolutely there is this kind of moral responsibility put onto kids to try and save this or solve this issue. And if they don't take some type of behavioural action, We've got kids coming home to parents saying, oh, we should eat less meat and we should use the family car less. And, you know, if they don't take these actions, that their loved ones are going to, you know, suffer somehow.
Such a
we
worry.
laugh at that, but I look at that and I think, like, the kids I see do believe this, that we're in an extinction, and that's just abusive.
It's a terrible, terrible issue. So thanks for drawing attention to it again, Claire. Appreciate it.